So myself and Uncle Ben Eller
Hey, kids.
are here at Sweetwater, and we are going to do something that, I don't know, I don't think we would have the chance to do otherwise. We're gonna build the most expensive rigs at Sweetwater, but we're gonna build our dream rigs. And
Yeah.
this isn't necessarily the monetarily most expensive rigs, but this is the rigs that each of us would build if money was no object.
It's that dweem within a dweem to
That's
build
right.
your own rig.
So we are going to focus on a guitar, on an amp, and a cabinet.
And a couple bare essential effects pedals that we need to get our jobs done as rock and roll guitar players.
That's right. And then we are going to take them in to the studio here at Sweetwater, and we're going to take them for a spin.
Let's do some shopping.
Okay, so we're here at Sweetwater Studios, and myself and Ben have had quite the fun day.
Oh yeah, it was just a joyous occasion of selecting from a treasure trove of amazing pieces of gear to arrive at our dream rigs.
Yeah, and what we chose was not necessarily monetarily the most expensive things that we could find. We built our own half stacks or rigs, our own rigs, with money no object, as if take money out of the equation. What would you choose and why would you choose it? And we're going to talk about that today in this video.
Yes, indeed.
So we have both chosen half stacks, 412 half stacks, because you know what? Why
It's
not?
more fun.
We can do that.
There's more of it.
There's more. More, and you know what they say, more is more.
More is more. We both regularly gig with 212s because we have a case of the olds.
Well, the practicality.
Oh, my back! Oh!
No roadies.
No, we're not.
Right.
We're not that cool yet.
So
We are taking applications though.
I mean, if you want to be a roadie for Ben, right, link down below. Hit him up. I'll give you his phone number.
Yep.
I won't. So Ben, let's talk about your rig first.
Yeah.
What are the components of your rig, and why did you choose said components?
Right. Okay. So, you know, for me, at the end of the day, the stuff that I want to do my average gig, like with my 80s hair metal party tribute band, Skank Banger, I'm going for some essentials. We could have gone really in the weeds, and I would have been like, oh, I want this chorus, and this phaser, and this flanger, and this wah pedal, and this blah, 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 blah. We didn't want to go down that rabbit hole because it just becomes ridiculous, and you end up building the world's largest pedal board part two. The stuff that I need to play a gig is a really nice, playable, super shreddy guitar, preferably one with a tremolo back here so I can kickstand stuff.
But it's a vintage style, right? You wouldn't necessarily choose a Floyd Rose.
You know, I usually do, but whenever it's like this and it's like the Goto 510 tremolo, which I think is the best traditional two-point design that has ever been made.
It's good.
If it's got a good, well-cut nut and locking tuners, it's fine.
Okay.
I mean, Eddie Van Halen had less, so...
And you're not doing crazy dive bombs with
I
that,
am. Yeah,
are you?
You can do that with these. Yeah, you can actually abuse these things quite a lot.
Oh, I did not know that.
I mean, a Floyd is great. I kind of like the sound of these better, honestly. And of course, string changes and stuff like that are a lot faster. So I need a good high-performance guitar, preferably with a couple of hamburgers here, a little Grill Master set, couple of burgers. And this guy, this Charvel, is ridiculously sick. Oh my God. Picked it right up off the rack, and it was just like, yep, I can go play a show on this right now.
Yep.
It plays like the wind. It's got the lumen-lay side dots that I love.
Love those.
Every guitar should have this.
I agree.
Every guitar should have lumen-lay side dots. They're absolutely fantastic. Because it just seems like every time you're about to take a solo is right when the lighting guy puts it on somebody else, and you're like, and where am I? You know?
Yeah.
So the lumen-lay side dots are a real lifesaver for that. This guy just really does play like the wind, and it's got that great cutaway on the back. You can reach all the high notes and get chicks and stuff. I also like that it's got the angled jack here on the back as well.
That is a really cool feature.
Yeah, that way you'll never step on it with your cool boots and, you know, knock your cable out while you're playing. Really, really killer guitar. I like these a lot. I just tend to like double cutaway super strat designs. Just kind of what I've always played and what I've always felt at home with.
Okay.
So with a high performance ride like this, I need that going into an extremely sick British voiced high gain amplifier like this lovely Friedman BE100 Deluxe. This is what I chose. Now, my regular gigging amp at home is actually a Friedman BE100, just the regular one.
Lovely.
Incredible amps.
Yeah, agree.
This is almost the same thing. It's got a few more knobs and bells and whistles and stuff on it. And it has independent EQs for every channel. Mine does not. My BE100 does not have that. So it's a little bit less flexible in a way. But I kind of just set everything to noon anyway. So I don't even have to have individual EQs.
Which, in my opinion, the closer you can get to noon on any amp, the better the amp is.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah. It's just kind of where it's meant to operate.
Yeah.
So I like that about an amp. And the Friedman amps, I started using these this year, and I was just instantly in love. I was like, this is the tone I've been trying to get out of other pieces forever. It's got enough of that Van Halen 1 DNA to it. That is my ideal hard rock tone, just Van Halen 1. It starts right there.
Sure.
And then it gets more brutal as it gets more modern, you know?
As needed, yeah.
And the Friedmans can do that. They've got plenty of gain on tap. You can roll the gain down and get a nice vintage sound out of them as well. And they're bulletproof because Dave builds rigs for the big boys. So
Yeah.
you can't kill these
he
things.
does.
So I love these amps. I chose this Marshall hand-wired cab that I had never played before until we were doing some demos and stuff here at Sweetwater Studios. And our engineer recommended checking out this cab, and I was instantly in love.
Well, I think he literally won't stop talking about the cab. Like, we're
Kind of
eating
becoming a
lunch and he's talking about the cab.
Yeah.
He's a little in love, guys.
Do you think you could fit this in an overhead on a plane?
You know what? I think you should try. Why not? You know what? And film it.
You miss every shot you don't take.
That's right.
So how will I know if I don't sneak off with this thing?
Right.
Really killer cab. It is definitely pricey because it's definitely worth it. Hand wired. It has some special
70th anniversary Celestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, G12H 70th anniversary, I believe.
Yeah, which I've used the regular G12Hs before, and I wasn't nuts about them.
They're okay.
They're very EQ wise, you know.
These
Are not
that.
No.
These are very, very nice.
It's somewhere in between having like the thump of a G12H, but with a little bit more of that mid-range fullness of a V30. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Really killer cabinet. And, you know, again, I didn't want to do every pedal under the sun, just the essentials that I have to have for a rig like this, which is going to be a noise gate and a delay. So both things in the loop, keeps the floor clean, and I can do the whole gig that way because I just leave delay on all night.
Yep.
For the gate, we chose actually both ended up choosing the same one.
TC Sentry.
The TC Sentry, which is a new love affair of mine as well. You introduced me to this, and now I'm a changed man.
So good.
It is a killer gate. It's so
good,
man. It seems to be really intelligent in terms of like knowing when to cut out noise, but not really cutting out sustain. You know, like if you're hitting a long singing note, and you got your foot up on the monitor, and the lights are in your eyes, and the crowd is going wild, and the beers are flowing, and then your note gets cut off by the gate.
Yeah.
That's totally lame. But the Sentry is really good about knowing exactly when it should be cutting stuff off.
Agree.
I love that thing. And for my delay, I went with the Strymon Timeline. I hate that they sound so good. I'll tell you this.
It's a lot of pedal.
It's a lot, and I would probably only end up utilizing 5% of what it can actually do.
That's fine.
They just sound so good.
Agree.
Whenever I heard about the Strymon stuff, like the Timeline, and I looked at the price tag, I was like, oh my God, like no way that's worth it. And then a buddy of mine, Andy Wood, incredible player, he got one, and I went over to his place, you know, just ready to hate it and be like, whatever, it's another delay pedal, dude. You just spent a bunch of money on something that you could have got out of any delay pedal. I walked in the room and he was playing it, and I was instantly like, I hate how good that sounds. I hate that it's worth every penny and more because there's so much you can do with these things. You can store stuff, there's banks, there's all these different types of delay you can do to it. Again, I would barely use any of it, but they just sound so doggone good that if money was no object for me, that's what I'm going with. So it's just those components right there that'll get me through any gig for Skankbanger and beyond, honestly.
Okay. Let's hear it, shall we?
We shall.
We're going to hear it.
Oh, me gusta mucho.
It's delicious. You could
I
just
love it.
snack on it.
That Friedman tone, dude. You can just sink your teeth into it.
I know.
It's chewy. It's got that British thing, but it's like,
tight,
yeah.
but it's not sizzly.
No.
In a bad way.
Exactly. Love these amps. This is just great for me.
Cool.
It's got what it takes. It
sounds
brings
lovely.
the pain. Thank you.
That sounds good.
What do you got going on over here?
Okay, so I chose, viewers of my channel aren't going to be shocked at all.
Stunning.
I chose this stunning Ernie Ball Music Man Luke 3 HH in, I believe the finish is the Aqua Sparkle finish. This is new for 2021. And this guitar has this crazy 12 dB boost on this push volume pot.
Yeah, it's
And
awesome.
We've been playing this in the studio for a couple of days now, and this guitar is really, really special. This is really amazing. It's fast off the board. It's chunky.
God, it plays itself, man. It's so easy to
plays
play.
itself. We fell in love with this guitar, and you guys know what a huge fan I am of Music Man's sparkle finishes.
Dude, it looks like Rich Dad Bass Boat, and I
does.
love it so much.
I love it so much.
I never had a rich dad with a bass boat, but I can have a guitar that looks like a rich dad's
Go swimming
bass
in the glitter.
boat.
Okay, so I'm going into a TC Sentry noise gate that we
Twins.
Instead of a delay, I have an Ibanez TS808 boost. I am not particularly using it a lot with this setup. This is something I would step on for maybe not a lead, but a melodic part, make a chorus a little thicker.
A little extra sustain.
Something like that. This particular setup, especially with the 12 dB boost in this guitar, I'm not using that. That's not coming on at all. But I am using the Soldano SLO100, one of my favorite amps of all time since I was a kid.
Insane. Classic design that is like still relevant and sounds modern to this day.
Right. I don't understand how it has all of the elements. Clean, crunch, and lead channels are completely usable.
Yeah. The cleans are sick.
They sound unbelievable. They can get really, really clean. They can get a little dirty clean. Everything in between.
Yeah.
And from the SLO100, I'm going into a Mesa Boogie oversized Rectifier 412, one of my favorite cabinets of all time.
Yep.
It's equipped with the Boogie Vintage 30s, made in England, and they just sound good, kids.
Gosh darn it.
They just sound good.
They just sound right.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna show you guys two different sounds. One without the onboard boost of the Luke 3, and then one with the boost. I'm on the overdrive channel, and the EQ is basically at noon. I'm dipping the mids slightly, but other than that, the overdrive is at 4. It's at about 11 o'clock, to give you an idea of where this is at. Now,
oh, it sounds so good.
Now,
so thick, man.
Now, if we wanted to go even more, I'm going to engage this built-in boost and just really go full tilt.
Woo. Dude, you've got this like bristling high end, those mids that just sit exactly right in a mix. And the low end is big, but it's not at all like too tubby or too in the way, I hate whenever super high gain tones, especially modern high gain tones, have like too much bass. It's fun to play on when you're by yourself.
For sure, but in
if
the
you're
context
gigging,
of a band,
no.
Won't happen because the sound guy is going to cut out all that low end anyway for the bass guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man. The voicing of this amplifier is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is hard to beat. And again, it's a mix maker kind of amp.
Yeah, it really is.
Fit in the mix so good. It's funny too because like that's an old design. I mean, this design's been around for 30, 40 years.
Yes, I will note that this is the Mark II. This is the newer SLO100. I hate calling it the Mark II. It's an SLO100 for modern times, so it doesn't require new old stock tubes or anything like that.
Yeah.
It has a usable loop.
Yeah.
From Friedman.
There you go.
So it's just...
so you got your peanut butter, my chocolate scenario
These
here.
very much are cousins,
Yeah.
or actually siblings.
Aw.
You know what? They are siblings.
They're like little stepkids that get along. They have bunk beds. They don't fight too much.
Just enough.
Yeah.
To stay healthy.
Exactly. Right.
But yeah, that's my rig. That's your rig.
We like
And
things that are nice.
we like things that are nice. And again, these are not the most monetarily expensive rigs we could have built here at Sweetwater. However, I don't know, we just wanted to have some fun and see what we would build if we could build it.
Oh yeah, absolutely so. And at the end of the day, these are attainable. If you pinch your pennies and put your Bitcoin in the right places,
For sure.
take your Dogecoin to the moon,
Yeah.
you can have yourself something nice. And I know that myself, like, especially as a dude that grew up playing music and being super broke,
Same.
I have been guilty so many of times of just like trying to save a little bit of money, knowing what I want and getting something that's kind of the same thing, but it's really not, but it's cheaper, so I get that anyway.
Yeah.
And you just end up buying something that's a little better, buying something that's a little bit better, when I could have saved a lot of money and time if I just would have bought the thing that I really wanted, been patient, saved some money, and gotten it right. Buy nice or buy twice, right?
Buy nice or buy twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shout out to Sweetwater for letting them take over their studio and crank up really loud 412 cabinets.
Christmas came early for us, dude. It's like, it's just, today's December 1st as we record this. And It's
Yeah.
just like Christmas.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. And yeah, I will link down below in the description to all of this stuff if you want to check any of it out for yourself. And with that, I've been Fluff.
I've been Uncle Ben.
And you've been wonderful. And we will see you next time. See ya. If you liked the video you just watched, please consider subscribing. And if you want to further support me and what I do, consider using some of the affiliate links down below in the description of this video. Go on over to Sweetwater, buy yourself something, and help me out at the same time. It's a win-win for both of us.